Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how I made my first longbow. Look there. This bow started as a kit from Three Rivers Archery. My little brother actually began it about 6 or 7 years ago in his high school shop class. After he laminated the hickory and the bamboo backing together and formed himself a handle, he stopped working on the project. This last Christmas I asked him if I couldn't give it a shot and see what I could do with it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video as I document my process making my first longbow. I've just strung it. It's at brace height, 6 1/4 inches in between the back of the handle and the front of the string. And I have been fighting a split right there. You can see that sliver by my pinky there. As I draw the bow, I kind of exercising it back to my draw length, but it is coming back right there. But as I do that, I'm getting these little almost like milky white lines showing up. See if I can show it to you guys. That's not great. You can see the light catching it right there. I'm a little nervous to shoot the bow actually, seeing that the bamboo is definitely the issue here. It doesn't seem like the hickory has any kind of issues at all. It's the bamboo backer. While tillering, I put my fades too steep. So on most hill style bows, the fades actually come out further before they taper into the limbs. And I got a weak spot here. And that's pretty reflective of where these cracks are forming as well on the backer. So learned a few lessons along the way, but overall a very fun project, and I think it might still be able to be saved. So this is the last step to my homemade bow here. What I'm going to do is, let's see if I have it around here, to help stop some of the splintering, hopefully, is put this cloth backer on. We'll secure it with wood glue and back this bow. It's got a copperhead pattern, which I think looks pretty cool. And hopefully that'll stop the little splintering. It won't stop a catastrophic failure, but it'll give something to prevent those bamboo fibers from coming loose, springing up while shooting it. I'll feel a lot more confident shooting the bow after that. I've already repaired a handful of those little splinters, so hopefully that does the trick. And by this weekend, we'll be shooting the new bow. So now that I have the bow backed, it's been drying now for 3 or 4 days, and I'm beginning to actually remove the excess backing and glue off the sides of this bow. I'm using 2 files. I have one that's pretty aggressive, and I'm coming downward strokes. I picked this up off of a couple of other YouTubers and some friends of mine on a bow building page on Facebook with downward strokes only, to avoid peeling up the backing. I'm removing the glue and the backing and essentially cutting right down to the wood to leave the backing on the back of the bow, but remove everything off the sides. So I've already done this limb and finished it. What I'm going to do now is work down the other end of the bow and let you guys see the process of what's going on. Alright guys, we're back with the bow. After we backed it, I decided instead of polyurethane finish, I'd probably rather put a true oil finish on here. It's a little more durable. I think it looks a little better, it goes on smoother, and when it's done it has a really professional look to it. So I'm going to get another coat on it right now, let it dry for a day or so, and reapply a couple more coats. Once I get 4 or 5 coats of true oil on this bow, I'm going to call it done and go ahead and string it and see if it'll survive an arrow tune, and after that we'll get some footage shooting it. The bow is essentially finished. I'm pretty excited about how it turned out. I have a deer hair arrow rest here from a deer that I shot 3 years ago during muzzleloading season. I got it tanned and cut a couple pieces off of the shanks down at the bottom of the leg to use as an arrow rest. Antler Creek Archery has been making all my strings for my trad bows, and he does a great job. He adds some yarn balls to it as well. And I asked him to make something that would fit a copperhead pattern, and I think he nailed it. He's got yellows and oranges and browns in there, and it just fits perfectly to the backing that I have on this bow. This is a fake snakeskin backing. I know we kind of went over that already, but it is a cloth that you can buy from 3 Rivers Archery. It's made for bow backing. I added some wood glue to it, and it seems to be holding up pretty well. The leather handle here is just some pretty thick leather bought at a crafting store, and wax string to cross stitch that in. I have a grip indicator right here. It also helps build out the arrow shelf a little bit, and the arrow sits on top of there just fine. I don't know if this bow is ever going to make it into the woods to go hunting, but I'd like to think I can give it a shot. This is my first bow build, and I made quite a few mistakes along the way, but at the end of the day it shoots an arrow, and it's shooting pretty well. The nice thing about making your own bow is there really aren't any rules. I'd highly recommend going out and giving this a shot for yourself. If nothing else, it can be a fun project, and I'm sure you'll learn a lot just like I did along the way. So let's shoot this thing a little bit and see what it can do.